comes on, I want everybody to just jump.
Hydee, I am so glad that you and I have finally got a chance to speak. For folks who are listening to this whole interview on Rudy Blair Entertainment Media, a year ago, you and I did a video interview, and the weirdest thing happened when I put the video up on my system. For some reason, there was no sound. But when I listened to it on my platform, there would be sound. And for I don't know how long, 1 minute there was sound, then there wasn't sound. I remember you even sending me a note going, "Hey, Rudy, I don't think there's any sound on it." I'm going, "What are you talking about? There is." It was the weirdest thing. I don't know if you remember that or not, my friend.
Wow, I do faintly remember that. That was for Dreams last year.
There you go, exactly.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing anybody I've ever asked could not explain it to me. And I just felt like the gremlins were after me that day because I did an earlier interview, and that didn't happen. It was fine.
Wow.
Weird.
That's really weird.
That's why I'm happy that at least we're getting back. We're doing this as a recording that we can get a chance to talk. The fact you're a part of EverAfter, you're one of the top Canadian DJs in this country, man. How does it feel not just representing, but being part of one of these, great events?
It's actually amazing. EverAfter has been nothing but amazing to me and like all the other locals, and even showcasing the local stage, the Ontario stage, giving opportunities to kids like that to kind of showcase what they do and what they love. And they're just expanding and at an alarming rate, outdoing every other year before that, and just getting bigger and better. And I'm just so glad to be a part of something, something so awesome and big in Canada, Toronto, and, the world.
It's funny as you say that because, I was going over some stuff that's been going on with your life, and hopefully I've got it right. But you've really turned your passion really into a business also. It's not just about being on stage, even though, of course, that is extremely important and getting that crowd going. You've really made it into a business for yourself.
I kind of think like anything is I kind of treat it like a business, and I like to, I think any passion should be kind of somewhat business oriented. Just try to keep it professional, try to put 100% into it, just like I would if it was, an actual business or a job, even though, I try not to make it like a job, try to make it more of a passion, but, I just try to do what I love, and I just try to, give it 100%, and, hopefully people are picking up on it, and people love what I do, and it seems to be pretty well received from the last many years that I've been doing it, so I'm just kind of keep going until I can't go anymore.
Let's talk about in the beginning, man. When did that passion start for you? Why did you decide to go down this road?
Well, see, that's a long time ago, so I'd say 1997 was the first time I actually listened to this kind of electronic music, and I actually picked up the microphone before I even picked up the turntables or anything or the decks. I started emceeing, started writing lyrics, and then it kind of slowly went into the DJ thing where my best friend was actually a DJ at the time, and we had a band, and we had a DJ in it. And the band kind of broke up. I was the drummer, but we kind of just kept DJing and stuff like that. And I guess playing the drums and DJing kind of go hand in hand because it's, it is drums and beats. So I just kind of picked it up and I just kind of rolled with it and did it for a very long time. And then probably around like 2008, 2009, I got really recognized and got my first big chance with Embrace, and they hooked it up, and the dubstep was starting to come on the up. And then I just started getting booked with them, and then the drum and bass gigs started happening, and it's just kind of snowballed from there. And that's where I am today. So,
what do you think makes you different from other DJs? I mean, there are a lot of them out there, a lot of them on that big platform like yourself. But what do you think makes you different from the others?
Different. That's a hard question to answer. I'd like to think I just kind of have my own style, my own energy. It really kind of try to show that through my performances. I try to be a hype man as well. Also, maybe the fact that I was an MC for a very long time, so I kind of have that mic presence on the you know, with my performances and stuff like that. So it kind of brings a little bit of a different edge and a little bit more hype factor, and maybe even kind of that I host myself as well as DJ on top of that. So I don't know, kind of I try to hit it from all angles, and you know, it seems to be working, and people seem to be receiving it really well. So maybe that.
You know, one of the things I always love to ask somebody in your position, too, is because there are so many young people out there who want to do what you're doing. So, you know, the magic question is always, you probably hear it all the time, what makes a good DJ?
Sorry, what makes a, sorry?
What makes a good DJ?
What makes a good DJ? Well, I mean, for me, it's all about passion. I mean, you got to really love what you do. You really got to give it 100%. You really got to be out there, especially with the, you know, social media being a huge, strong presence these days, versus like the old school days where it was like, you know, you physically had to go out there and, you know, give someone a mixtape or something like that. Now it's literally everything's almost online. You kind of almost have a brand and kind of almost have a presence online as much as you do like as a physical person in front of people. So I think, you know, branding and like having a strong social media presence is huge. You know, have fun with it, and you know, try to stay humble and try not to get lost in the hype. You know, don't think you're better than anyone else, but do your own thing, and you know your worth and know what you're worth and what you can bring to the table. And at the end of the day, just have fun with it.
How do you think EDM has changed over the last 10 years? I mean, there are even different genres, of course, of EDM. And how do you work that into your set?
Wow. Well, I mean, it's definitely like a lot more commercial these days from what even 10, 15 years ago. Like before, it was very taboo. You know, there'd be lots of underground parties you wouldn't even know about or wouldn't even hear about until like, or location and stuff like that until day of. Now it's like everything's, like I said, it's the power of social media. Everything is out there, kind of easily accessible. It's definitely become more mainstream and more commercialized, where, you know, such as like festivals like EverAfter and like other big ones too, where you're getting like, you know, 20, 30, 40, sometimes even EDC, 100,000 people in a day, you know, over the span of like a weekend and stuff like that. So it's definitely changed because it's grown and it's growing, and it's going to continue to grow. And I think it's just there's going to be different outlets and different types of music and genres and sounds coming up. You know, I'm excited for the future and for the future of the artists that are going to come up in this genre and everything else that's kind of come with it.
You know, very few people get a chance to see the stage the way you do. What is it like, though, when you see 40, 50, 100,000 people, you know, jumping up and down and following you as you are the Pied Piper, and they are the mice, and they are following along and having a great time doing it? What's it like to see that?
It's definitely one of the most, the best feelings ever. It's, you know, it's like all those efforts and all those years of playing, just kind of paid off, and seeing the crowd go crazy to like what I'm doing and the reactions and you know, just how everybody's going nuts. It definitely feed off that energy, and it's definitely one of the best feelings and kind of a euphoric, like, just awesome, great feeling.
When are we gonna, like, is there somewhere where we can hear some of the stuff that you've done, like your SoundCloud or anything like that? Yeah,
so I got a SoundCloud. It's got like all my mixes and stuff on music in there. It is soundcloud.com/Hydee, Hydee.
Fantastic. And in the meantime, though, if we want to follow you on social media, where do we go for that?
Yeah, so you can get me on Instagram.com/HydeeDub. Same with my Facebook. Search up Hydee. Twitter.com/HydeeDub. I'm out there, man. You can find me.
Yeah, absolutely. And before you go, too, do you know what time you're going to be on? What's that?
I'm not exactly. I'm not sure time-wise yet, but I actually playing two sets. I'm actually opening up the D&B stage on the first day, Friday, so Friday, June 8th. Mm-hmm. That's the second stage, the drum and bass stage that they added recently. And then on the Sunday, I'm actually opening up the main stage. So whatever times those end up being is whatever times those will be. But I'll be the first one playing those stages.
Fantastic. My friend, look,
Okay.
thank you so much for doing this interview with me. I hope we can do it again in person, and hopefully my equipment is going to be working right and the gremlins are not around. Look, man, thanks again for the interview, and tear it up. I'm going to be there. I'm looking forward to it.
No problem. Thanks a lot, and see you at EverAfter.
You got it. Take care. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Riot in the club. Motherfucker, move back. Go.